The Buzz, Australia's only live, interactive social media program on free-to-air TV, is proudly brought to you by Grid, Australia's award-winning provider of on-demand IT infrastructure for businesses that want reliability, speed and flexibility.
Actually haven't even opened the lid of my laptop. Hello and welcome to The Buzz, coming to you live from the studios of West TV, right here in the Central Business District of Perth. And when I say we're live, we are live. No scripts. You can join us by simply jumping on Twitter and using hashtag The Buzz. That's what Cookie did. That's why he's here.
Well, I simply joined us by hashtagging The Buzz. I did, and then poof, here I am.
Rightly said as well. Now, some say she's shorter when she wears high heels. All I know is that she's called Candace. Hello, Candace. How are you doing tonight?
You're lucky I'm wearing shoes at all, to be honest. Good to be here, guys. We've got some great topics coming up today. Really juicy stuff. It's all systems go, but we're going to start off with someone who I'm quite positive isn't actually the real Slim Shady. See what I mean? Definitely not the real Slim Shady.
I don't think I'd be inviting her to my wedding.
No.
Can't you just sing some Perry Como? I'd be
She was wearing a lovely dress as well, but did you see the footwear? I hope she didn't wear that.
It's part of the look.
Yeah, you'd have to do that.
Mixing the bridesmaid with the,
Otherwise,
the straight.
Yeah, the kids are going to look at her and go, no, sorry.
No, not trendy.
Real, not the
now,
deal.
Speaking about things that are particularly trendy at the moment, right here in Perth, Pink's just performed.
She has. And then she went to Melbourne, to Rod Laver Arena. She played in front of 12,000 people. She's very popular. She probably paid 4 or 5 dates there. She played a lot here. Anyway, a young guy at this particular gig tweeted, because he was excited, at Pink, I'm ready with my bomb. Time to blow up Rod Laver, hashtag arena. Bitch. But,
we've got to put that in context. This is the problem with Twitter, isn't it? That very often tweets are taken out of context.
It's a problem with text in general.
Now, Candace, do you know the answer to this? Does Pink actually have a song called Time Bomb?
She does have a song called Time Bomb, though I can't recite the lyrics word for word. My understanding is that the tweet was linked with that song. So it is kind of in context, though a little bit stupid.
Well, the claim is that he didn't have time to write Time Bomb during the program. Here's the thing that's a bit weird, though. 12,000 people at Rod Laver Arena. It's a big venue. It's like our Perth Arena here. They found this person during the gig in the crowd.
From his Twitter picture, no less, which is only,
from his avatar.
It's only a tiny wee picture. It's only this big. So
how'd they find him?
Yeah, well, it doesn't quite specify in the articles I've read, but I think that would be a good question to ask.
You think the NSA is involved with this?
I have no idea, but how can you spot one person out of 12,000?
CIA and ASIO and all these other security organisations, or are they just bouncers with good eyesight?
Who knows? Once again, I would imagine our poor children have to grow up with this kind of crap in their lives.
Just pose this. How many young boys are going to be at a Pink concert?
That's a very good point.
Well, I would say
that narrows the field somewhat.
I would say there would be lots of boys at the Pink concert, and I would say pink would be one of their favourite colours.
There you go. Right. Now, in San Francisco, yesterday, actually, a plane crashed. Candace, you've got more on this.
Yeah, it had a lot of the major tech companies kind of gasping for breath. It was huge links everywhere. Unfortunately, 2 people did lose their lives, 2 young Chinese students. But there was a real close shave for a number of tech industry executives. The plane was arriving back from Seoul in South Korea, where a book launch had been held by, nonetheless, Facebook Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg. So there were a lot of pretty important high-flying tech people on that plane, including a number of people from Samsung. The author herself rescheduled a flight at the last minute, so she wasn't on the fateful flight, and everyone else, while there are a lot of injuries, has thankfully survived. So a bit of a sigh of relief for a lot of people there, I would suggest.
Apparently, the two Chinese girls that actually fell out the back of the plane, apparently one of them was knocked over by one of the emergency vehicles.
Oh, it's terrible, but it's likely. I mean,
it hasn't been confirmed though whether that was the dead body or whether she was still alive at the time. Fascinating though, once again, when these stories break with social media, we were seeing pictures, we were seeing video, a lot of that stuff breaking that news cycle that we were seeing on television as well.
Well, people tweeting who were actually on that aircraft.
The plane, taking pictures, posting on Instagram as they're running away from the plane.
Run away from the plane, stop, Instagram, pick the right filter.
But that's the modern thing, really. You know, everyone's got a smartphone on them, everyone's a content creator, and that kind of leads me into the next little tidbit I had for you.
Imagine 9/11.
Indeed.
How it would have been had we had what we have now. Anyway.
People already, you know, were carrying around portable camcorders at that time. But, you know, YouTube has now embarked on a new feature which can help people who tend to carry around their smartphones and budding auteurs actually profit from their hobby. YouTube Pro is what it's called. It's a monthly series of videos featuring successful content creators, the people who've already done it right, giving some advice to the up-and-comers about elements of advertising, how to deal with management and business tips in general. So it is, you know, quite a useful tool for anyone out there wanting to make a little bit of money off their little hobby. Speaking of a hobby which is kind of unusual, if you were an amputee, what would you make your prosthetic leg out of?
So you see those nasty tattoos that she had on that leg. Do you reckon that's the reason she chopped off the other leg, because they were just really bad tattoos?
Yes, Jason, I think that's exactly the reason.
The good thing about that prosthesis, though, is that, you know, when someone complains about stepping on Lego, she's going to say, I step on Lego all the time. It's no problem.
Yeah, I can't help but feel, you know, that the first step she takes where it falls off, it's an indication of how you're going to go with the rest of it.
How solid it's going to be.
I think it makes a great video. And, you know, for people like you who are fans of amputees, it's
very much so, very sexy.
Now,
I am a big fan of Spotify, which is an online streaming music service, but you found a competitor called Audio.
Well, you may have noticed if you've been watching this program over the past few weeks, I've been going through these music programs just trying to find one for me that can replace whatever it is that I get my new music from, which is usually a combination of SoundCloud and various bits and pieces that I get from here or there. RDIO, RDIO.com is one of these, and I've been playing it on my computer at work. There's also an app for it. It works, from what I can imagine, I haven't used Spotify yet very much, but pretty much the same, where you kind of find the artists that you like and the people that you like, and you search, you find them, you load them in, you select tracks that you want, you build a playlist from that, or you build a bunch of artists from that. So it's actually been quite good for that. I found a lot of stuff that I haven't been able to find on some of the other services. The actual albums, you may remember I spoke about one that linked to the YouTube videos, and part of the problem you had with that was some of the quality was a bit dodgy, the MP3 files or the audio files. This stuff I found is all pretty good. The sound quality is quite good. It finds the files quite quickly, has a lot of stuff in it. The downside is every time I don't pick a next song, it defaults to Bruno Mars. No.
I got a similar problem with Spotify, in that it regularly defaults to music I absolutely loathe as well. So you haven't found a way yet of actually filtering that sort of nonsense out?
I haven't gone through and picked the ins and outs of refining my playlist. It is $8.90 a month.
That's quite
expensive. I get my first month free.
Okay.
But there is a lot of stuff on there that I didn't expect to find. I have been
Is it streaming only, or can you download as well?
I believe it's streaming only. I haven't found an option where you can buy the tracks yet.
Okay.
But it's very simple to obviously go and buy the tracks anyway. It's not really a concern.
How many cookies out of the packet are you going to give this?
I don't want to score stuff. You score it yourself. Go and have a look. See if you
all
like
right.
it.
We'll take a look at it.
What I'm trying to find is something to replace, or what will replace that radio listening experience. And I haven't quite found it. One thing, just quickly with these, is they just seem a little cold, a little sparse. It's just a...
We need a radio presenter with a deep, low voice, much like yourself, really.
Yeah, I don't know what it needs, but it needs something.
More of your favourite classic hits back to back.
To make it different than just me playing a playlist out of my phone. You know what I mean? Why would I use that when I can...
All right, we've talked radio. Let's talk video. Candice, Vine, you've got more news on this.
Yeah, so the competition between Vine and Instagram video is kind of up the ante even more than we brought you last week. So Instagram video, since they've arrived on the scene, Vine has really taken a hit. Some statistics estimating that the amount of Vine shares out there has dropped by something like 40%, which is a huge hit. So Vine has now hit back with the biggest update to its Vine app ever, with added functionality, including a completely redesigned camera, which is, pretty spiffy, the ability to repost videos from earlier in your Vine feed, and new categories so you can see what's trending. So, don't know if it's enough to really settle the debate once and for all, but it certainly gives you a little bit of food for thought, which keeps things nice and interesting.
Big problems I find with Vine, and Candice, you might notice this too, is when you go to look at it the first time, it takes bloody ages to download the videos before they start scrolling.
Roll on the national broadband network.
This isn't going to make any difference to your Wi-Fi. I mean, I've got 4G on my phone and it still seems to take
ages.
Too long. I can't be bothered waiting 60 seconds. I'll just give up and go to Instagram.
Move to the next thing.
I'm not going to wait longer than the video actually takes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because 90% of them are crap anyway.
Well, spot on. And, speaking of things that maybe upload speeds could affect, fighting crime in Queensland could soon go a little bit more high-tech, with Queensland Police in conversations with a London company which has built the FACEWATCH system. Now, the basic premise is that the system allows business owners to upload pictures and videos from their CCTV, allegedly showing petty criminals, so people who've nicked something, or, we're not talking your armed robbers necessarily here. But those pictures would then be able to be shared with perhaps the general public and with other business owners in the area, with the goal of hoping to generate some leads for the police and really solve some of these crimes, which do take up so much police resource time. So I don't think it's a bad idea, though the civil libertarians are jumping up and down about it.
I mean, surely we're talking about a lot of innocent people getting caught up in this net. They've done nothing wrong. Why should they be on camera?
Yeah, you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're kind of guilty unless they find out otherwise, which seems to be the way we're leading in a lot of things. And it
almost makes these citizens who have got these cameras judge, jury and executioner, because they're making the decision about whether or not that video should be uploaded.
Mind you saying that, you yourself solved a crime by posting up a video on social media.
That's true. That is true.
There are definite advantages of it, and I see it on those public transport videos and whatnot, where these people maybe have thinking twice about they behave because they might be videoed. But at the other side, we can make a bad situation worse.
It just feels a little bit icky as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, well, moving on, a lot of viewers of The Buzz are probably big fans of Doctor Who. I can certainly name a couple off the top of my head. Well, take Doctor Who and add a cat, and you've got an internet sensation.